Hey guys, here we are at Lime Rock in the Formula V's against a bunch of AI. It looks like 40 to 50 AIs. We have like 45 guys starting, and it looks like we have a few, I don't know, one, two, six, five or six other real guys, but mostly AI, maybe up to 8 people. And you see some of the AI qualified around 104s, 103s, going all the way up to 102s, mid 101s, and I got a 101.1, so starting on pole in front of all AIs. Gonna be interesting to see how they race. So 15 minutes at Lime Rock, again, no chicanes through here, it's just gonna be the classic version. And yeah, I've never raced with these guys before. I'm curious to see what it's like. So just making sure we have enough fuel. Just using the baseline setup here, 2.1 gallons should be fine. And let's see how it goes.
It'd be nice if they showed the AI icon in our relative.
One to go, next time by. Line up on the right side. Close.
It'd be nice if you shut up.
Okay, so we're just gonna mute everyone because they seem to be fighting. So, got one pace lap in front of us. I honestly do not know which. There's like no symbols, unlike in the leaderboard where it had like that blue logo. You can't actually tell it here. So I thought, if I'm not wrong, James Heater is the first guy, like in third or fourth, that is actually like not an AI, but I could be wrong. So. These cars do seem to like stay in like packs a lot, but from what I've heard, it seems that the AI like to have trouble. They generally check up a lot when they're on or on like cold tires, so we might be able to get a nice lead here, but I don't really know the rules for this, so I'm just gonna go on green. Say the main goal is don't understeer off of like turns 1 and 2. That's probably the easiest thing to do here, so try to minimize that. I don't know whether to start in second or third. They both seem pretty close.
About to go green, stay focused. The pace car is in. Green, green, green.
Beware of cold tires.
You've got about 5 laps of fuel left.
Hope that's not true. I feel like there's been this issue with like fuel glitches where it says it's really low, but it should update soon, I hope. Okay, nice clean start through the first few corners. Okay, so I mentioned James. I thought he was not an AI. The fact he was able to get up to second pretty much proves it, I think. So, assuming it'll just be us mostly battling unless the AI can do some magic. I'm honestly fine letting him by early. I know he's being a bit aggressive, looking for moves, but I'm curious to see how strong the slipstream is down here. Okay, yeah, he got a better exit anyways. Oh, he's staying behind though, interesting. Don't want to get too hard on the brakes. It is easy to lock up the fronts and then spin out, or it might be the rears, I don't know. The thing I noticed is the brake pressure 67.3 is a lot different than a lot of other cars. Normally it's like, I don't know, for road cars, maybe hot low 50s, and I mean, I think for the Porsche like 911 GT3 it's like at 45, so much different. I don't really know too much about why that is, but why the brake balance differs so much in different types of cars, but I guess it has to do with like maybe rear wheel drive, front wheel drive, that type of stuff. But anyways, our laps are about 1:02 or so in a 15-minute race. Should probably make it around 14 laps, I think. So yeah, so we're coming up on lapping 40th here. They're still 20 seconds ahead, but I would not be surprised if we actually caught them by the end of this race. Yeah, looking at third, we already got a 2-second lead on them, so even though they were close in qualifying, it just seems that they always bunch up at the start and they lose a lot of time, and it just takes a lot of time for them to come back, so. And that seems to be the case in like road and oval. It doesn't really matter the car, it just seems to be a trend, so. I am glad we had a rolling start and not a grid start. I don't even know what that would have looked like. Okay, let's see. Is there any yelling on the radio? Okay, it seems pretty quiet now. Must have been a wreck. Already catching people. Yeah, I'm okay with lapping the AI. They seem to like manage their line. The real question and difficulty is when they start racing too wide, you just don't know where to go. This track just is not easy to go 3 wide unless you're like getting a run off the final corner. Then you should be able to like go to the inside. But other sections, it's just almost too narrow. Okay, it's letting us go. Yeah, there's points where I get a gap on second. I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about him as he gets out of the slipstream, and then just magically he comes back. I just feel that even if I am like a tenth or two faster, I feel it's gonna be hard to break that slipstream. Yeah, these cars, because they're so light and they have so little power, the racing is just all about keeping the momentum up. It's not even too much about like, oh, slow in, fast out or anything, it's just almost like fast in the middle, if anything. So many of these corners are flat or at least partial throttle that you have to figure out how to get that balance. And I feel it does give a good introduction for going up the ranks, because the way to keep the momentum is just being smooth in multiple areas. Being smooth on the brake, being smooth on the turn-in, trying to keep like one turning position throughout the corner, trying not to change it too much. Trying to constantly focus on where all the weight is on, like whether it's on the front tires or rear tires. You can always think about those things, but this car doesn't penalize you too hard if you make certain mistakes. I'd say it penalizes you a lot when you're on cold tires. Okay. As long as they don't do any dangerous...
right.
Okay, oh boy. Oh, surprise. I was like, as long as there's no dangerous rejoins, I'll be fine. And I'm like, the car's parked upside down in the middle of the track. That's a surprise. Yeah, you don't really notice too much about the elevation change until you can't see a car upside down until the last second. So, I was getting yellow flags, I just thought it was the car off the track. It's always trying to maintain that balance of, do you want to check up too much in case you think there could be more wrecked cars ahead, or do you want to just try to...
Blue car ahead.
Dang. I would have thought these lap cars or these AI wouldn't just be wrecking by themselves, but the guy just spun out. I'm really curious what the AI level's at, because I feel like you can set it like a range between like 100 or 0 and like 110 or 120 or something, and I would understand them wrecking out like if, I don't know, if they're racing side by side and like someone hit wheels, or if they're on like old tires maybe. But like we're on lap 5, 6, or 7 of a race, depending if they're like a lap down, and they're already spinning out. So maybe I shouldn't get too excited about getting pole. Well, speaking of that, looks like second place is caught back up. I don't know if it's due to my lack of focus or just the fact that, again, he's been so close in pace. But, oh, yep, there we go. It's very easy for the car to continue running wide. Just gonna do a short update on our fuel situation. 1.2 gallons, 12 laps, and we're expecting this to be 14 laps. Only need about 6 or 7 laps more. We should be fine. Assuming we don't wreck, this should be an easy podium. Even though if we get past for the lead here, third place is still 6 seconds back. And wow, I thought third was like 3 seconds. Must have disconnected or something. Yeah, I can just tell that James is probably going to wait till I get the white flag and go for move, and I'm just trying to tell, if he goes for move into one, which I would not mind doing any earlier, I would not mind having practice, seeing if there's any other places where you can get a spot back. Because again, through here, you're kind of diamonding the corner going wide. You can't really get a better exit than someone. You might get stuck in the dirty air, it might only hurt you. As you can see, I gained a bit of a gap on him. Again, through here, it's just kind of trying to get a flow through 2 and 3, trying not to get too much of the curb there. Then through here you can get a nice draft on someone as you get up through third, and you'll get close, but you're not going to want to dive on the inside. You'll want to hang right behind, and then as you get up this hill, they're probably going to gain a bit on you, and just as you're probably about to catch up to them, this corner is again flat. And yeah, I just feel like in the same way that he's right behind me, he would be maintaining that 0.2 gap if he wanted to have a chance to make a move, but really the only chance you have is this front stretch. It's the longest opportunity, so he was like 0.4 back, and he easily got back down to like 0.2 seconds. I'm just wondering, if I have like a 0.6 second lead, is that enough time for him to get up to me and be able to make a move? Because while it'd be nice to practice letting him by first, I don't want to fall too far back and then struggle to make a move. Plus, if I do defend to the inside, once he pulls out of my slipstream, can he make a move around the outside? Those are all the things I'm thinking, since it's easy to tell what his plan is. He's clearly shown he's not one to pass, so yeah, I mean, Lime Rock is just, it's such a fun track, and I mean, with these cars, MX-5s, Skid Barber, stuff like that, I'm trying to think of other tracks this would be fun at. Maybe like Brands Hatch Indy or something, Alton Park. I mean, Alton Park is so fun with like a lot of similar pace cars. Morin Park, I guess, that could maybe be another fun option. I'm trying to think of another like somewhat shortish track. I guess Summit Point, a lot of these like free tracks that come with the game. What other, or simulator, sorry for all the iRacing guys getting mad at me calling it a game. What other small tracks are these cars? I guess like the Charlotte Roval, that would be a nice, interesting thing to try out. Oh my gosh, don't run. What is with these AIs that are just continuously wrecking? Like, I feel it's generally difficult to get into like hosted races, or you're tired of getting into official races and stuff like that. You want to just like be relaxed and go into just an AI race and have some fun without the pressure of getting your iRating ruined. I totally understand that, but when the AI have so much trouble like with the starts of these races, it's like, what do? Do you just not qualify and try to run through the field? I feel like you almost have limited options at that point. And I know it's so difficult to get like a correct AI. I feel like F1 games have tried NASCAR games, and I feel Codemasters honestly has done a really good job at it, but I guess they have other problems though. So I mean, I've seen so many comments saying like, why doesn't BeamMG like co-work with, I don't know, like some of the NASCAR games? That way they can work on like making a good damage model, or even like work with Gran Turismo Sport. Because I feel like Gran Turismo Sport like has the great like online like matchmaking and like the detail of like a large variety of cars and manufacturers and great detail of tracks and stuff like that, but the lack of damage model makes it kind of like odd. And I just feel like just making small changes with games that we have seen that can be successful in these areas. Just like, I don't know why all these companies are so focused on having their business do something. Maybe it has to do with just the combination of two companies isn't a traditional practice or something, but I just feel like that would benefit so much the consumers, because I feel like those are always the complaints. They'll buy the games anyways, but they'll buy the games and then just give them bad reviews and say, oh, don't worry, by supporting the game, they'll have the money to then make a better game, which never seems to happen. But okay, on to 1.5 minutes to go. Should be 2 laps to go here. I think I could be lucky, honestly, if I catch a lap car and I can get the slipstream, but there's another 6 seconds ahead, so the timing's gonna be difficult. Oh gosh, no! Well, I did dang choke that, didn't I? Yeah, this whole race I've been by myself. When I passed cars, I didn't really have much of the slipstream, so when I did, it was just I entered the corner with so much more speed, so I had to adjust my braking point, and I just didn't. So I'm glad I didn't spin out. I did just go wide and had to recover, but yeah, I think that might be the race for us. It's annoying, so close to the end, I freaking choked it. Yeah, I don't think it was the tires or anything, and I don't even think it was me talking that distracted me. It was just I didn't think that the draft would make that big of a difference.
One more good lap.
What's the gap to third? 18, 16
White
seconds?
Flag. Stay smooth.
Yeah, there's something about these cars, it's like they're slow but they're fun, and yet there's something...
You've got about 5 laps of fuel.
It's like, because they're slow, it's like I'm not really incentivized or motivated to do an endurance race in them. I just feel like you get all the action that you need in like a 15-25 minute race. I don't feel that pit stops would like spice things up that much. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I don't really feel the tire wear come on that much either, so... Well, I took the lead at first, or held on to the lead for 13 laps, made that simple mistake, and fell to second, so... Guess I'll need to focus on...
There's the checkered flag. Great job, you did really well.
If I just made a dumb mistake, like while I was by myself, I'd feel a bit worse about the situation. The fact I gave it up due to a lack of focus, but the fact that it was from we're drafting onto a lap car, and things were different, and I just had done like 12 laps before, and I hadn't been accustomed to that, I feel a little less stupid about losing the race. But thanks for watching, guys. Just to come back into the pits here, maybe just watch that incident. But yeah, I mean, like, my thought was the fact that we were like 2/10 ahead of these guys in qualifying pace. Let's say they lose like 2 or 3 seconds for the first 3 laps. That's 6 seconds lost, and then let's even give them half a second slower. Half a second slower for 15 laps, that should be about 7 seconds. 7 seconds plus the extra 3 seconds they lost per lap, that should be about a 10-second gap, and it's down to 17. And that's even for third. Then it goes down to 19, 21, 25, 30, and I just feel that's like, it just seems that...
Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in.
It seems their race pace isn't even close to their qualifying pace, and so I feel like that's a problem. there's not that big of a
Okay, punch
change.
it.
Like if you had a lot more fuel in the car, maybe you could understand it, but there's no reason for that. So, okay, so let's just see our small mistake here. We're in the it's the lap before. Yeah, so we have our draft, and let's just. Am I crazy, or are we actually going at different speeds? So, again, we have a bit of a draft here. I want to find a lap where we don't have a big draft. Okay, so coming into the first corner, no draft, lap 12, 98 miles per hour, getting on the brakes. And let's just see where we got on the brakes, just to see if I made any big changes. We got on the brakes, like, right after the 1 or so. Right after the 1. Then here we are. Again, we are 98 there. This time we're in the draft, 100 and what? 101. Did we brake any later than before? Yeah, maybe we actually did brake a bit later than before, so and I know it kind of looks dumb when you're seeing how little brake pressure this is, but I feel with the wheel input here, if I put on the brakes even more, then I feel like I could maybe, again, spin out the rears, so you want to almost put less brake pressure just to minimize a large mistake. Going wide, again, it can kind of save the car. So, yeah, 2 miles per hour and braking maybe 20 meters later. Yeah, it's a small lack of focus, but yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.